Hello everyone. So one thing that I noticed while we train the juniors, the kids, we call it the tennis clinics, is that it's very difficult for them to deal. They have a difficult time when you say, okay guys, you're gonna start playing points. First they start doing some drills and things like that, and then you say, okay, now you're gonna play points. And you can tell that the way they hit the ball changes drastically for a lot of them when they are just practicing than when they are actually playing a point or competing. Why does it happen? I think that happens to a lot of us when we're kids, but when you have been playing for quite a while, let's say I'm talking kids that they probably been playing for 3, 4, some of them 5 years, and they still change their game a lot when they're playing a point, when they're competing, when there's actually something, it's there is a risk that I'm gonna lose a point to this guy or a game, and the player they are when there is nothing, when they are just training and hitting the ball freely, is very different to the player they become when they actually have to play points. Competition many times is the fear of losing, and competition many times it can really get to a lot of kids, to a lot of people. A lot of them, I seen kids that they like freeze when they start playing matches because they just are terrified of losing. And I believe that is one of the things, I think that one of the several things that we should teach our kids ever since they're really, really young is introduction to losing, introduction to failure, or in other words, learning to lose. We sometimes, I think that we're as kids, many times we wrongly grow up with the idea that that we should try to succeed, that there is a pretty high possibility that we can succeed at everything you do. And the truth is that we fail at most of the things we do. The reason why we still grow and we do well, some people do well and get better, is because they actually pay attention to the process and they grow. The growth, as 1,000 times people have said, it's in the process. It's not in winning, in the result. And a lot of people just don't seem to get it, especially in the in the American culture, where it's gotta be like you got to win, and that creates a lot of, that is one thing that does not help our young ones, and even if you go to a tournament, you can go and watch tournaments of kids that are 12 and under, 14, 16 and under, even 18 and under, and you still see it at all levels of the game. There are players that are, I've seen adult leagues where you see players that are they just, some of them throw a fit because they're losing. Some of them are completely terrified of losing because of all the wrong conceptions, the preconceptions that they form. How am I going to look? What are people going to say about me? For whatever reason. But I truly believe that that's one thing that we should teach our kids at a very young age, is that you have to understand that most of the projects most of the things that you want to do, you are not gonna be able to achieve it, but still that doesn't mean that when you are at peace with the fact that when you are at peace with failure, you create character. You hit the wall once, The first time is the scariest one because you don't want to, and the second one is scary too. But as you hit the wall 3, 4, 5, I mean, you gotta get used to hit it. You gotta get to the point where you get used to hit the wall. Doesn't mean that you sit down and you're gonna complain and you're not gonna care about trying or half trying or whatever. You know, oh well, I mean half trying, like you're not gonna go and half try because you think that you're gonna fail. No, you just gotta get used to get back up, dust yourself off, and keep going forward again. And understand that even you know, the best athletes in the world, you see Rafael Nadal, you see Michael Jordan, you see all those guys, they compete in the Olympics, they compete in the leagues in their countries or international tournaments. They don't win every game. Michael Jordan didn't win. If his record, if you look at his record of games that he played and how many he won, he doesn't have a winning percentage. You look at Rafael Nadal or Roger Federer or Novak Djokovic, and you look at the record of tournaments they have played, they don't win each and every one of them. You know, so Tom Brady, which is an astounding competitor and performer. I mean, if you count how many times has he competed on the league, for how many years, and you're gonna notice that even though he has 5 or 6 Super Bowls, still he was far from winning each and every time that he competed. But I mean, far from achieving that. So one thing that we, even as adults, sometimes we don't get to understand is that as much as they repeat to us that the process is where you grow, people just don't get it. I don't think people actually sit down and think about it. You know, I think that many times people listen to that and say, yeah, whatever, you know, but still, to me, what counts is winning. And I wanted to mention something as an example. From the time when I competed in juniors and professional college, I remember the matches that I remember very clear, that are like crystal clear, are the matches that were really tight, and some of them I lost. I had this guy that we were off the court, we were okay friends, but once we were on the court, we were arch rivals, and we will put every single, you know, inch of effort that we had, everything we got to beat the other guy, you know. And I lost. I remember the last time we played, I lost to him in 3 sets. It was a really hurtful and tough match. But I that's one of the matches that I remember, and I feel very proud of myself, because that's, you know, you put everything you got in there, everything you get. You know, it's like you're not even thinking in the moment, like, okay, you know what are people are gonna say. Just in the moment, I will just, and that will happen when I will play other guys, that I will say, okay, I really have to beat this guy because I'm not supposed to lose to him. But with this guy, it was a matter of pride. So when I play him, I never even thought like, okay, I don't know what people are gonna say about me. You know, if I lose or something, I will just do anything I could to beat him. And the matches that really made me grow, and the ones that I remember very clear, are the ones that were really tough. Not the finals, not the tournaments I won. I mean, I remember them, you know, but the truth is that the ones that I remember very, very clear, they are usually 2 or 3 matches that I lost, but they were tight. They were pretty tight score, you know, because I was very proud of myself of how much I put into it, and they were really hurtful. But those were the matches that even now I still think of them, and I keep feeding myself off those situations. You know, I still grow even now, many years after that. So it was not the winning next tournament or winning this other tournament or whatever. No, it was the matches that were really the ones that got every ounce of energy that you had in your body. Those are the ones that you're going to remember, the one that pushed you beyond the limits that you thought you had. So that's why I believe that if you have kids, get them into sports, get them into something where they don't have to be in competition, but it's very important that you talk to them at a very early age and make them understand. Say, hey, you know what? There are many projects that you are gonna have throughout your life. Starting as a 3-4-year-old kid, that you probably get a set of Legos and you're supposed to build an X-wing or something like that, and you're still not able to do it, you know, and you're gonna fail and you cannot sorry guys, and that doesn't mean that you give up. You know, you just have to keep pushing forward. You just gotta keep trying and trying. You know, it's the truth is that there is no other way. It's just simply put, they have to understand that, and it's a normal thing. Nothing happens, you know. They gotta learn, you know, that creates that mental flexibility in them, you know, seeing that it's not the end of the world, you know. Mom and dad, they're not gonna be mad at me, you know. As well, I remember very clear, my dad always say, as well as I know that you put everything you got into the match when you were playing, I will never complain. You can lose to one, you know, you can lose to any, you know, to a kid that you're not supposed to lose to, but you say, as well as I know that I did everything you could, I'll be good. I'll be happy with it, you know. So they gotta learn to lose. They gotta learn to that they gotta get used to losing being pretty much something that they're gonna face it many times. But you know, that's part of being successful. You know, every person that is successful, as far as I know, whether businessman or athlete, they try many times and they don't make it, and they don't make it, and they don't make it, and they try again, and they keep going back, and they fall again, and they go back, and they fall, and they go back, until one time they make it. And that one time is where they, you know, they hit the lotto, they become famous, or they make money, or whatever, you know, whatever happens. But it's just the natural process of life. So I just wanted to mention the example of the kids that we have in the clinics, and that's very important, because if your kid has the idea, I have seen kids that think that they see losing as, simply put, terrifying. They are terrified of losing. And if your kid is one of those, or if he looks like he might become one of those, believe me, you have it's a living nightmare for them because it happens. They go through it every single day. They go through that kind of situations. When they go through that kind of situations, when they're at school, or when they're at home, or anywhere else, you know. So anyways, they gotta get to the point where they see it's a normal thing. But what's not a normal thing, it's me quitting, you know. I just gotta keep putting the same amount of effort every single time, and the same amount is 100%. That doesn't change at all. Okay. And also, they have to learn that success is not guaranteed. You can try many times, and sometimes you just don't make it, and probably you say, you know what, I probably have to try something else. Probably I was just not meant to do this thing. So anyways, guys, hope you like it. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.